Hey there, Michelle. How's it going?
Hey, Lindsay, got a trivia question for you.
Oh, trivia. I'm ready.
Okay. How many teeth does a snail have?
I guess I never even knew that snails had teeth. I don't even know, Michelle. That's a great
give
question.
Up? Give up?
I give up. I give up.
Between 1,000 and 25,000 teeth.
What? That is so weird.
That's kind of
25,000 teeth even fit in their mouths?
I don't know. They're very tiny teeth. Can you believe that? That's crazy. So
I really can't.
Yeah. Well, today, Well, I did ask you if I said give up, right? Because you didn't even know where to start, right? Do you ever have that where somebody's like, oh, do you, how many something do you think is this? And you're like, I don't know. Why are you asking me?
Right. And then I might just say, I give up. Just tell me. Right.
Exactly. So we're talking about this today because we have a really good listener question from a listener on YouTube. This is from Nasseral Sibe 4740. And guys, if you didn't know, we have our channel over on YouTube. If you prefer to watch the podcast on YouTube, we are over there right now, and you can ask your questions in the comments there as well. So make sure to go over there and also hit the subscribe button.
Yes, Michelle, I'll go ahead and read the question from Nasseral. Are you ready?
Yes.
All right. So Nasseral says, hey, Michelle and Lindsay, I've been listening to your podcast for almost 4 years now.
Wow.
Oh my gosh, Michelle, that is amazing.
Thank you.
Thank you. Big fan of your show. I know you like straightforward questions. That is true. We do. So here's mine and hope it will be answered. What's the difference between give up and give in? Sometimes it's confusing and feels the same to me. Thanks. Love you guys. Yeah. Michelle, I love this question.
Yeah. And you're right, Nasral. You know, we do love the straightforward questions. And this is a perfect example of a great question. Give up and give in. There we go. Exactly. Good question. And thank you so much for listening to our show for almost 4 years and for enjoying it. So we're happy to have you.
Yeah. Yes. And before we move any further in the show, I want to say a huge thank you to those who have reviewed us on Apple Podcast or Spotify, wherever you've left a review. Thank you to Fred Lieb from China. Thank you to QCC from China, Vaila on October 19th. And again, Janice Winkler, who reviewed us in Apple Podcasts. Huge thank you to our reviewers. And guys, if you want to get your name read out loud on the show, go ahead and leave your review for All Ears English. All right. Perfect. Wherever you listen, whether it's on the Android app, the iOS app, or Apple Podcasts or Google, just leave a review and we'll try our best to read your name out loud. All right.
That's right. All right. Thank you so much. All right. So let's get into the question. So let's start with give up because we were already kind of on that road already. So I asked you a question at the beginning of the episode, a trivia question, and then I said, give up. So what did I mean by that?
Yeah, you're basically asking me, is it too hard? Do you want me to just tell you is what you're saying?
Right. Yeah, exactly. So it basically means to give up can mean to surrender, right? Or to stop something, right? Mm-hmm. Either because of its difficulty or you don't know, or even pertaining to a habit. Now, I know that I just threw a lot at you, but we're gonna go over some examples here. So here. Let's see. Okay, what number are you thinking of? I've give up. I have no idea. So I surrender, right? It's too hard. I'm not going to ask anymore. I'm not going to make any more guesses, right?
Yeah. And I think there are kind of two sub meanings of give up here. There's this, I surrender in terms like, I don't know. I don't know the answer. And then there's also, I'm going to stop doing something. Yeah. Right. I surrender. Mm-hmm. So there's two ways of surrendering. You're saying you don't know, or you're saying you can't do something anymore. Right. So this is the second meaning here, this example. Mm-hmm. You can't give up on your 5K. You're doing so well. Right. So I think anytime we're preparing for a big race or any competition, we might hit a plateau in our training or hit a dip. I think some authors have talked about the dip where we feel like we're just not getting anywhere and we might want to give up at that point.
I mean, I'm sure our listeners can relate to this with English, right? Like, I know that we've talked to listeners about that plateau feeling and, this feeling of, oh, well, I want to speak like a native speaker, but I'm stuck at this area, right? And we might say, well, you can't give up, right?
Yep. Yeah, there was a funny commercial I saw on TV. It was related to a medication, but who is that Australian actress? She's blonde. I think her name is Reese something or Rain or I can't think of her name. Anyway, she's really funny. She does a lot of comedies, and it was all about plateaus. And they had her up on the top plateau in a chair, and she's like, "I'm at the best plateau," and then someone else is at a lower plateau, and you had to move to the next plateau. But like, we experience this dip in anything we're trying to do: losing weight, getting fit, preparing for a race, whatever it is. And so we can't give up, right? Yes.
And and now we're going to give a couple different examples that don't quite fit this. So she gave up her computer when the computer lab got too crowded. So again, here it's still like to surrender it, right? You're surrendering it to someone else, right?
Yeah. So you're basically giving it to someone, or you're returning it or throwing it away or something. I don't know what you're doing with it. Okay, I get it. I didn't understand what was going on in this. Actually, it means that she left the room, right? Is that what we're saying here?
Well, yeah. Imagine like a big computer lab at school, that's maybe it might not be. Well, I guess now it would be everybody has a laptop, but let's say there are desktops and, she's at one of the computer lab desktops, but it's too crowded and people are waiting. And so she's just like, oh, I'm giving up my computer. It's too crowded anyway, right? You'll go do work at home.
So you are kind of surrendering and you're leaving that space open for someone else. But we can give something up when we actually just get rid of it too, right? Like a possession, giving it to someone else, right? If you don't have space for something in your home.
Right. Well, it also, I'm also thinking of I think I wrote about this for an example in a future episode, but I'll talk about it now too. I was Lindsay, have you ever been to Reading Terminal Market in Philadelphia?
Probably, but I don't.
You
remember
would like it. It's like a huge food, a food market. I mean, like with so many places to eat. It's incredible, but it is very hot because it is so crowded. It is so crowded. But it's kind of one of those things where it's an experience, so you just do it. So we were there this weekend, and it makes me think of when you're waiting for a seat. Right. And so there's not that many seats. Well, there are a lot of seats, but there are more people. And so you're just kind of standing there waiting for someone to give up their seat. Right. For them to be finished.
On the podcast once before.
Did we?
The whole lurking thing. Lurk.
Oh yeah, exactly. So and then also there's this way, I gave up meat after watching that documentary. So this is almost more the one about pertaining to a habit, right? I gave up cheese when I found out I was lactose intolerant, right?
Or you gave up soda. I gave up drinking soda in like 1999 when I heard how bad it is for you. So we all, over our lifetimes, we probably give up certain things, food, drinks, habits, giving up smoking, right? That's a good one. So giving up, stop doing something, stop using something. What else, Michelle?
Give something over, surrender. There are, or also I don't know, right? Oh, I give up. I don't know. What's the answer, right? So there's a lot of meanings here, but in general, it's this umbrella idea of ending something, ending an effort, and stopping doing something, right? There's a lot of, like, I would say that's the overarching theme.
Yep, love it. Okay, we have conquered give up. Now let's talk about one that might be a little less common for our listeners to hear, but really important to know the difference. Give in, Michelle. Is this the same thing? I mean, what do we need to know?
Yeah, I mean, it's similar in the way that you stop doing something, but it is different, right? So you surrender or you stop doing something after you resisted it. Right. So there was a time when you were resisted doing something, and now you are going to do it. So after some time, you surrender. So here's an example. She asked her mother for a piece of chocolate over and over until she finally gave in.
Yeah. And it has a sense of also compromising to someone. Like someone is pushing you to do something. And yes, you resisted it at first. And then finally, you're going to give in. You're going to compromise. And you're going to allow something, right?
Yes. Yep. To allow something. Yeah. What's another example?
I told him I wasn't going to the gym, but I gave in when he said he would buy me lunch after. Fair weather working outer.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay, what else?
Or I am not going to spend $300 on a concert. I'm not giving in.
Yeah, that means a lot of people are probably pushing you, and that's important. Someone has to be trying to convince you to do that, right? Yep. Otherwise, like it would be a little strange to say, like you just see the price and online and you say, I'm not giving in. That's not quite right because someone needs to be pushing you to do it, to give in.
Exactly. Right. So there has to be something on the other side, right? It's you don't generally say I'm not giving in to no one unless, I mean, it could be kind of a conflict with yourself, I suppose, but
yeah, I mean, or it could be just with society's rising prices, right? Like you see these prices going up and maybe you say you're going to change your grocery shopping habits, like, or you're not going to, right? Something like that. So but there has to be some force on the other side that's pressuring you to pay that money.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. So again, I mean, how are these different, Lindsay, just to review?
Yeah, let's look at it. So giving up again, guys, is quitting, not trying anymore, maybe being defeated, surrendering, as we said before. Giving in is when you agree to something after you've been saying no for a while, right? So you're going to stop resisting. And usually someone or something, whether that's inflation or whether that's your friends, is pressuring you to do the thing, right?
Yes. Exactly. So then let's just talk about the grammar piece for a moment. So when you say give up, it's followed by a noun or gerund, right? To give up something. I suppose you could, or you could just say I give up, right?
Yeah.
And then at a later date, we could talk about like to give up on something, right? When you add on.
Yeah, we can add that in another episode.
Yes, exactly. And what about with give in?
So give in is usually used with a noun. So you would give in to something. So that's important. So I give in to her every time. Like my kid is always asking me for a treat when we go to the grocery store and I try to resist, but I give in to her every time. I give in to her. That's tricky, guys. Watch out with all those prepositions there. Right?
Exactly. Or you can use a gerund, but not an infinitive. So you could say, I gave in to watching my brother's dog for the week. If it means, but if it means surrender, an object isn't necessary. So I gave in after he begged so much and let him win. So you don't need to say, I gave in to him, right?
Yeah, tricky. This is where it could get a little complicated around the grammar. Yeah. So let's do some examples, Michelle, shall we?
So I'm gonna quiz you, Lindsay.
Okay, I'm ready.
Okay. And let's see if you get it right. Okay. So I blank gluten when I realized it bothered my stomach.
Yeah. So guys, as you're listening today, see if you can quiz yourself and see what belongs in there. So I'm going to give it 3 seconds, 3, 2, 1. I'm going to say gave up. I gave up gluten. I gave up. And a lot of people use it in this context. I gave up some kind of food. Again, soda, sugar, salt, or smoking, something like that.
Here's another one. Good job, Lindsay. Another one is I asked my mom to switch her appointment, but she wouldn't. Blank.
She wouldn't. So think about it, listeners, for a minute. And I think the answer is she wouldn't give in. Is that right, Michelle?
Yep.
So this is, again, you are the force pressuring your mom to switch that appointment. And she resisted it. And she continued to resist it. So she wouldn't give in. Yeah.
You didn't get what you wanted. Here's another one. I will not blank to peer pressure on this. I don't want the cookie.
I do want the cookie.
Yeah, I know. Sorry, Lindsay. In this one, you don't.
All right. Hopefully our listeners have had a second to think about it. The answer here, I will not give in to peer pressure. Right? I will not give in. Okay.
And let's do one more. Don't blank on me. I can change.
Good one. All right. So here I'm going to say don't give up on me. Don't give up on me. Feels like it belongs in a song or something.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah. I'm sure it's in tons of songs. Don't give up on me. It's like basically saying still believe in me. Don't stop.
Don't surrender. Don't drop faith.
Don't drop.
Right?
Yeah. Exactly. So you can see in many different ways how these are used. Lindsay, should we do a role play before we go?
Yeah, let's do a role play just to really solidify this for our listeners. Here we go. So we're at a happy hour. Yay, fun. And there are past hors d'oeuvres at this happy hour. So that's fun. So it's a fancy happy hour. Nice.
Yes, exactly. All right, here we go. Oh, man, look at those goat cheese balls. Want one?
I'm trying to give up cheese because it hurts my stomach.
Oh, no. I'm sorry. You sure?
Okay, I give in. One won't hurt.
You'll be fine. Do you know how much this place costs for a bridal shower? I asked.
Oh, I don't know. Okay, I give up.
$70 a person.
Whoa.
Yeah, that's where Lauren wanted it, but I'm not giving in to her. That's way out of my budget.
Same. Nice. Yeah. All right. Let's go through. So how sad if you're giving up cheese? I don't think I could give up cheese. The idea just makes me sad.
Yeah.
Or ice cream for that matter. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So, all right. So you said, look at those goat cheese balls. Do you want one? And I said, I'm trying to give up cheese. Right. And again, this is very common with any kind of food. We've given numerous examples in this episode, guys. Any kind of food that you're trying to no longer eat, you give it up. You're giving it up. Or sometimes you see like for Lent, people give up certain kinds of food for Lent, right?
Yeah.
Or not food, habits or something. I don't know exactly how it works, but I've heard that before.
Yeah.
Right. Good. So what else, Michelle? Yeah.
Yeah. Then I said, oh, you sure? And you said, okay, I give in. One won't hurt. Right. So you're giving in to, I would say, the force of the cheese.
Or I guess you too, you're kind of pressuring me a little
right.
bit.
I'm kind of, you could have said, okay, I give up, right? You could have.
Yeah, that's interesting. This is a place where it would be interchangeable, Michelle.
So that can happen. And then
because let's just clarify that for a minute. So we've said I give in, and that's because my own sense, my taste buds are like, I'm salivating, right? And you're also pressuring me. So that's I give in, I surrender. But also I give up would mean if I switched and I say, I give up, you're saying essentially I'm going to stop resisting. Like, right. It's so that's why both work there. Yeah. It doesn't happen in every scenario, but in this scenario it does. Right?
Yeah. Interesting. So then I said, do you know how much this place costs for a bridal shower? And you said,
I said, I'm thinking, I don't know. Okay, I give up. And again, that's like what we did at the very top of the show. I didn't know how many teeth a snail has, right? So I want you to tell me.
Yes, exactly. And then I told you, and then I said, that's where Lauren wanted it, but I'm not giving in to her. So maybe I'm the maid of honor in her wedding and I'm planning it, or she's my sister and she wants, I'm not giving in to her. So I am not, giving in to her. Yeah, I'm resisting it.
You're resisting. Someone is pressuring you and you're resisting that. So you're pushing back. So you're not giving in. All right. Really good. We had a lot of examples here because this was a fantastic question.
Oh, yeah.
And I think probably a common stumbling block for our listeners, Michelle.
Yeah. So hopefully we cleared it up for you today. We gave you a lot of different examples. Guys, for another episode to check out, this was really fun. It was All Ears English. Make your English the chef's kiss. So check that one out.
And for a takeaway today, I mean, it's these little differences, give in, give up, that we want to start to look at the C1, B2, C1 level, guys, to level up into being near native with our language, right, Michelle?
Yeah. So, give these a try. Listen out for them. Try one at a time if that would be helpful for you. But you'll hear this all the time. I mean, many different contexts. Yeah. So you'll be able to get a lot of different examples just from the real world.
Exactly. And if you're making mistakes here, remember, it's all about connection. So come back to connection with the person in front of you. That is the ultimate goal. And eventually we'll get this right. Okay, good.
Perfect. All right. Well, thanks, Lindsay, for talking about this with me today. And thank you to our listener for that question.
All right, Michelle. Talk soon. Bye.
All right. Bye.